Today, the University of Minnesota is a vibrant institution of higher learning, as culturally diverse as any university in the United States. Each day, thousands of students from all 50 states and 142 different countries walk our campus, accessing an education that will help them shape our world. That's why the Colonial Dames, an enterprising group of women, partnered with the university to develop a new scholarship to help support students from across the globe.
The Colonial Dames have had a really interesting impact on the University of Minnesota student body. And you have to think about the fact that this started now more than 60 years ago, when the University of Minnesota was a very different place and when the number of international students was much smaller.
We were pretty insular in Minnesota in those days. And it wasn't before all the influx of all these wonderful people that are coming in and making it all more interesting to live here. But in those days, yes, it was quite unusual to have, foreign students and have, different lives and different ways, different cultures.
In the 1953 or so, we had probably about 400 international students. And of course, the cost of education and living was increasing all the time. So many of them have been feeling stressed financially, and that of course affected their academic performance and so on.
Joseph Mestenhauser was the head of the university's International Student Office in 1953. He remembers the genesis of the Colonial Dames Scholarship, beginning with a simple question from a very special person.
I was sitting in the office. I was the only one at the office, and this lady showed up and wanted to know what we are doing for international students. She had just returned from India, where she traveled in third-class trains and saw the poverty there, and thought that we should be doing a lot more, and why aren't we doing it? Well, I didn't know who she was until she left, and then my secretary told me, well, don't you know who she was? And I said, well, I had no idea. Well, it was Mrs. Pillsbury.
Moved to action, Mrs. Eleanor Pillsbury worked with other Colonial Dames to develop a new scholarship that would provide funding to help international students at the university.
In the beginning, the scholarship was used for sort of tiding somebody over from when they got here to this country and started their education, everything was fine. The government might have funded them, but all of a sudden they had a coup in their government and there was no money left for them. So we would step in and help them finish their education. Either that, or at home one of the parents would have had a terrible illness, and so they had to use all the family money for the illness.
The impact of the scholarship was evident, as grateful students were able to finish their studies and graduate with help from the Colonial Dames. But over the years, it became clear that as education costs rose, the scholarship would have to evolve alongside the cultural makeup of the university it was shaping.
Just a few years ago, we decided to give just 2 scholarships, but significant scholarships that would really make a difference in their finishing a degree, usually is what we're after.
The move to offer just 2 larger scholarships was aided by one very special donor, Ms. Marion Cross, whose bequest to the Dames Scholarship upon her death provided additional funding to bolster the program's shift. Her legacy helped redefine how the scholarship operated and helped ensure its future success. Whether through smaller or larger awards, there is no doubt the Colonial Dames have had a large impact on the University of Minnesota. Over the last 60 years, more than 800 scholarships have been awarded.
Yeah, I think when you look at the list of the students who received support and their countries they come from, it covered the whole world. It was just amazing.
The Colonial Dames Scholarship, in dollar value, has been enormous. More than $500,000 has been awarded to students in need from developing countries who are degree-seeking students here at the university. But the value is so much more than the money.
I think for the organization, the Dames, we just see it as a program that we can, as a group, can be very proud of, that we're making a difference, not only in the Colonial Dames and here at the University of Minnesota, but in the world. We like to look big. We're making a difference there.
Today, the Colonial Dames celebrate this history while keeping their sights set on helping even more international students at the University of Minnesota campus. To many Dames, the scholarship is central to the organization's mission.
I believe the Dames are supposed to be educating people about American history and democracy in general, and I think this is a shining example of showing them how it is. And I'm giving them a course in it.
We like to look at it as we are being patriotic. We're hoping that these students are learning something about the United States and our history. We realize that we're really making an impact on these students, these international students, as they're here in our country for a short period of time, being educated, and they're going to go back to their home countries and make a difference in these countries all over the world, and we can make a difference in their life by helping them provide funds for their education.